does the day start? And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because, believe it or not, this is a question that's out there. When does the day start? And shout out to one of the sisters yesterday. They had asked this question during Q&A, and I something I probably should have addressed a long time ago. I don't know why people want to shortchange the Sabbath. And that's what I call it, shortchanging the Sabbath. And that's why people do this. That's why this is a subject. What time does this day start? So let me just go and just say to some people, they might say, well, why is this even a subject? Why does this even matter? Whenever this subject comes up, there's a motive behind it. And I always like to address the motive before I deal with the subject. Here's the motive. The reason why you got some people in the community asking what time does the day start, or this is even a debate, is because there are a group of people, when it comes to observing the Sabbath, they only want to start the Sabbath on the seventh day of the week when the sun comes up. And the Sabbath will end when the sun goes down. That's where a lot of people want to do. They don't want to keep the Sabbath a full 24-hour period. They don't want to do it. I don't know whether it's laziness. I don't know if it's buffoonery. I don't know if it's trying to get a way out. Maybe people got stuff that they doing on a Friday night. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they got a business that they don't want to close, but people always find somebody to go along, or they will retrofit themselves into a doctrine that fits their agenda. And that's what it is. It's an agenda. And this is why this subject is even up on the table. What time does the day start? It's all about shortchanging the Sabbath, because somebody has something that they're doing and they don't want to stop doing it for whatever particular reason. Who knows? Because everybody's got an agenda. Now let's address this. When does the day start? We know that this man in this world starts the day at 12 o'clock midnight. We know that. We know that that's incorrect. We know that that's biblically incorrect, and that is not a subject of discussion. The subject of discussion is does it start? When does it start? It starts at sundown, not when the sun comes up. That's when the day starts, not when the sun comes up. Okay? And it's for those who are circumventing the Sabbath. Now, the book of Genesis, and I'm doing the car cam, so y'all know what the scriptures are. It's in the book of Genesis. The evening and the morning were the first day. That's the way that is, brothers and sisters. The evening and the morning were the first day. So you can look at that and read that in the book of Genesis, and you'll be fine. Okay? The second thing is, let's address the fact that I'm going to use one scripture, one verse to deal away with this thing and to take that whole doctrine off the table. One scripture, one verse. There's many others. There's many others that I could use. There's many others, but I'm just going to use one to take it off the table, because there is a group of people, whether they are called themselves preppers or whatever it is, they only want to observe the Sabbath when the sun comes up, because they say that's when the day starts. When the sun is up, that's when your day starts. That's when the day starts. So the Sabbath, in their minds, they really don't give a bunch of scriptures In their mind, when the sun comes up Sabbath morning, when the sun is up in the sky, now it starts the Sabbath. Now you got to observe the Sabbath. Now you can't do any work. Now you can't do anything that having your pleasure because it's the Sabbath. And that's the time that it starts. Because again, they say that's when the day starts. I'm building up to this. Which means what they're saying is that the day starts at sunrise, and we know that there's 24 hours in a day. So at what point does the day go? Because if you're going to start your Sabbath at when the sun goes up, that means Saturday night. If that's the timeline you're going to use, your Sabbath don't end until the following day at sunrise. But that's not what they do. That's not what they do. What they do is when the sun comes up on the seventh day and when the sun goes down on the seventh day, the Sabbath ends. Pretty much they only observing the Sabbath at best 12 hours. At best 12 hours. That's what they're doing. Assuming that there was a 6 a.m. sunrise and a 6 p.m. sunset, at best they are only observing the Sabbath for 12 hours. That's what these people are doing. So we have to question the motive on that. We got to question the motive. So let's deal with it. One scripture. I'm going to give one scripture and put this thing to rest. Because what they're saying is, and I'm going to repeat it one more time before I give one scripture that would take that mess and that false doctrine off the table. They say that a day starts when the sun comes up. Therefore, they only observe the Sabbath on the seventh day when the sun comes up, because that's the day. And St. John, here's the one scripture, the 20th chapter. The scripture says, very early on the first day of the week. Check this out. Y'all check it out. You can look at it in John the 20th chapter, verse 1. Then comes the first day of the week. Then it says, while it was yet dark. Did y'all catch that? Here comes the first day of the week when it was still dark. They came early in the morning on the first day of the week when it was yet dark. Or in other words, while it was still dark. If it's the first day of the week and you're reading the scriptures while it is still dark, that means the day already started. So that's that one. I'm just going to use one. There's many others. I'm just using one. Because when something's so buffoonery as that, just give them one scripture and get rid of it. Just get it off the table. Then comes the first day of the week when it was still dark. So therefore the sun had not even come up. Why? Because it's still dark. Therefore the first day of the week had already started. It's already in the first day of the week. So moving back to the Sabbath the day before, brothers and sisters, a day starts according to the scriptures at the going down of the sun. When the sun goes down and you don't see no more, your day starts. Your Sabbath starts. On the sixth day of the week at even, when the sun is going down on the sixth day of the week, once that sun goes down, your Sabbath starts. And it will end 24 hours later on the seventh day of the week when the sun is going down. Drop the mic. I'm out. I'm done. Peace and blessings to all of you all. We'll talk soon.